This is everybody's day. This is everybody's day. You are not bad. You were born into many of the things that you are struggling with. I'm talking to someone particular. You were born to struggle, into that struggle, because someone who had headship had seeded you into struggle. I'm sounding like I'm not a Christian. I'm washed by the blood. But you know, there are perspectives that a minister has because he has seen. And I was sharing that one of the things I wanted to share on our group that I've not shared is that we need to get to a place where we'll be accountable to each other. It's very important. That I'm not afraid. And I did that with Brother Ari yesterday. I said, Brother Ari, there are issues. He said, I'll be praying. So he opened up too and said, these things. I said, me too, I can pray. He said, that's a good one. Because amongst ourselves, sometimes we tell ourselves the truth. You can be involved and be fighting. Sometimes you can even set other people free, and you are still bound. John chapter 11 verse 44. We are not sounding like AWC tonight. And this is AWC. Because if warriors must emerge, they must be free. There is a race that we have been called to run. And you know, the writer of Hebrews admonishes us. He said, seeing then that we are surrounded with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside. God will not do it. That utterance is to brethren. It means that the running believer can still run with weights. You will speak in tongues with load. Now I'm using speaking in tongues because in our days the number of hours of speaking in tongues is what we used to is what is generally used to grade how strong then you are. You can heal the sick and be bound. You can raise the dead and be bound. You can have many cars and you can be the definition of prosperity, but you can be bound. Because even the devil can participate in advancing you financially if that participation will keep you bound. It's not about today. Do you know that from the choice, from the day that Saul was chosen, Saul had an element of foolishness. Go and look for donkeys. And then after walking scattered, it was his servant who said, let's not walk aimlessly. Let's look for a seer. Let's turn to him. Now when they approached the seer, we saw Saul foolish again. He didn't know that you don't approach a seer empty-handed. His foolishness was deep. So the servant said, may I have a few coins here? Let's give him something now. And then he was anointed king of Israel because his folly had nothing to do with his kingship. It was an implantation. It was an implantation. And so Saul continued. Saul had a problem with making the right choices. So they went to war. God said, slaughter a body. And then even if you didn't kill anybody, is it the king that you should live alive? The king is the embodiment of the principality that rules that place. It means if Saul understood that territories were dominated from the spirit, Saul would have slain the king first. So he left the king. It's like you leave an altar alive and then you kill the worshippers. Wow. Another priesthood we call. When you kill a witch, nothing happens to the craft. the craft cannot stay in a dead body, so it looks around for another agent and enters the agent again. And in case the craft is in a family, it makes the embodiment easy. Because just like God allocates mantles to families, the enemy allocates crafts. I was in Ilorin, I think early this year. I shared with us, and a lady came to me and said, all of a sudden, sir, I could freely sleep with everybody. Everybody. So I said, bring your hand. And as I was going to pray, I stopped. I said, this thing started August last year. She said, yes. I said, your grandma died. She said, yes. So tell me about your grandma. Was she an occultic person? She said, yes. They said she was very high in witchcraft kingdom. I said, good. What were you before she died? She said, I was a strong intercessor. Do you still pray now? I said, no. Do you feel anything in your stomach? She said, no. So we prayed. And God took that thing out from her stomach. Now I now sat her down and told her, the craft, you were the first girl in the grandchildren. You were chosen to bear the craft. But the craft could not find expression. So what they did was weaken your morality. And because your morality had become weak, a gate was open. The craft could be installed. So your sleeping around is not because you want to, it's that the nature of the craft that you are carrying finds unrestrained expression when there is witchcraft locked. I'm not doing witchcraft teaching tonight, but I'm saying, Toby, you can't fight for long if you are bound. It doesn't take long to mutate. Many times all that it requires is a trigger.